Okay, yes, apologies. So Zoom, some issues, and apologies for my posture here, my pose. But I am 那边那个晋江在汉nội中学今晚就是我放很少的课，so I'm going downtown 今天就是晚上。This is April 15th, 2023. Hello, Eric. Hello, Eric. Izainalia. Eric? May? Oh, there he is. Okay, good.
Hello, hello.
Hello, yes. Apologies for my posture here, but I'm at the airport in the airport hotel in
Yeah, I
Hanoi.
know that. So
Yeah.
it's not really good to, yeah, little
It's not, yeah,
space.
here I'll show you. Very small hotel, but today because I left my bag in the storage, one bag when I went to Thailand at the airport. So I need to, but it was closed last night. I came in late, so now I have to
Yeah,
go back to try to get my bag. So I stayed this hotel very small, the room. So
yes,
this is the best posture. So yeah, hopefully I can get my bag and then go downtown Hanoi. So it's
yes,
pretty good. But yeah, when you start traveling again, right now that the virus is gone, people are traveling. When you travel, it's always the visa, right? Is always the problem because sometimes you only have 1 month or maybe sometimes even 2 weeks, right? So you have to travel.
yes.
Yeah, you can't overstay your visa, right? So it's always a problem. So I wanted to stay in Thailand, but my visa was expiring, so I came back to Vietnam. So we'll see. All right, how are you?
Yeah, so I am feeling really good because yesterday we've just finished our midterm exam and yeah, so I felt pleased and relaxed now.
Very good. How do you think you did? Okay,
Yeah, okay, as
good.
usual.
Is that how about the one girl in your class? She's always beats you.
Not in my class.
Oh,
It's
okay.
she is in my grade in other classes.
Good,
And
good, good.
yeah, I think she also does really well. And I'm not sure about how she really did, but from her expressions and others, I can see that she is, yeah, she also feels really relaxed and proud of herself.
Yes, good, good. I coached the IELTS for IELTS with your parents' university, and it's different, right? So when I coach IELTS, especially for talking, right? I don't teach the reading. I think they have another teacher for the reading and the writing for IELTS. I teach the speaking, right? Coach the speaking. So to speak IELTS is a different than conversational language, right? So like we are talking, right? Conversing conversationally in English. So many of my students are good at academic now. Good, they are good at answering the IELTS questions, but not speaking. Like so, even if I ask them like, "Hey, how are you doing?" 他们听不懂, right? They can't understand it. The 大学生, right? The university. But if I give them if I ask them, how do you feel about marriage, right? Please explain your feeling, right? They can do an academic answer, right? So I'm curious. I was wondering, like you are great. All your English is great, right? But how is the girl in your class? Is she good academically, or can you two talk together in English?
Yes, I think she is both good academically, which means she can answer the problems with uh, in IELTS, and then she can uh like successfully answer your question in a mode. I'm not sure what that mode is. And
Yeah.
then she can also talk, yeah, well, in daily English or oral English.
Wow, interesting. Do you ever talk to her, or you guys miss each other in the school?
Yeah, because we're in different classes, so there is little chance to meet, but recently I've just talked to her.
Yeah, okay. Do you when you guys speak Chinese or you speak English?
Yeah, because most of the
Yeah.
time we just speak Chinese. That's more
Yes.
convenient and we can
Yeah.
speak quicker. But yeah, I think last term our school held a English competition, and
Mhm.
then we both spoke English at that time.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, very good. Good, Mr. Kong. Good, good, good. All right, I see that you did let's split share. So I see that you did this essay. That's good. Oh, I finished my book. I published it. So
Yeah,
I'll send you so it should be on Amazon here in the next maybe week, 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. So I'll send you guys the link. So I'm very happy that I
yeah,
took
okay,
me
I'll look at it.
10 years, 10 years to do this. So we'll see. We'll see if people like it. I don't know, but I did my best, you know. All right, Eric. Let's see. I downloaded this. All right, excellent. Very good. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, last week's IELTS one task and answer. You should spend about 20 minutes, right? Gives you an idea, right, of how much time you're going to get. And this is just an image. Yeah. The
Yeah.
graph shows various methods people use. Pardon me, my back here too. People use to get to work in an Asian city, okay, in two different time periods, report the main features and make comparisons, right? So what style essay is this, Eric? Very easy.
Mm. Well, I don't know the typical name, but it's what you can uh you get the conclusion from like a typical kind of chart or bar graph.
Yes, actually, well, this is actually a pie chart, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
pie
a
chart.
circle pie chart, but it's a compare contrast, right? Yin yang. You're comparing
Yes.
1959, right, to 2009, and vice versa, right? So excellent, very good. All right, good, my man. Yeah, wow. Looks beautiful. Looks very good. Looks very nice. How many words did they want? Did they say, oh, 150? Did you count how many words?
Yeah, I've counted it's about 220, and I didn't find a way to let the words become
Good.
fewer and fewer, so that's hard.
Yeah, no, that's when they say, you should write at least. So that means you could write 5,000, right? It all
Yeah,
depends. Yeah, you don't wanna just keep la 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 where it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you wanna make it a
yes.
good essay. But if you really know, you're like, "Man," you're on your IELTS test and you're like, "Man, I really know this answer." And you just start typing, it's okay, man. You could type 500 words, right? If you really are passionate about it and you know the answer, that's okay, right? If it's a good essay. All right, so right off the bat, right, just looking at the two pie charts, what can you tell me about the differences, right? What do you see?
The first one is the ears. So the first one tells us the proportion in 1959, and the second one tells us the situation 50 years later.
Yes.
And in the first pie chart, we can see from below that blue represents foot, and it is the largest proportion. Um, like over a half of the whole ones, and the second one is bus, and the third one is train, and then car it's 10%. It shows that only like few families own their own cars, and then the yeah, I think it's called purple. It's
Mhm.
very little, so it's like other ways of going
Yeah.
to work, such as underground, metro, bicycle, or something else. And then we can see the average distance is 3.5 kilometers. That shows that people always want to buy their houses like near where they work because that's more
Good, excellent,
convenient.
good,
And
good
that
analogy.
just represent more people want to walk to their workplace because it's so close. And the average duration is 17 minutes, and we can see that they're just walking.
Yeah,
In
so why okay, so the question then, so why do you think then it's an average why has the distance increased over the
Yeah,
50 years?
that's
What do you think?
because I think where people always want to choose where they live, but in 1959, they were like restricted by where they work, but now 50 years later, they're not restricted by where their workplaces are, so the average distances become longer, and since they have better ways to commute, um, their average duration is only 42 minutes and not very long.
Yes, fabulous, Eric. Excellent, very good, right? Well, you could say, yes, this has pretty much been throughout humanity or all the progressing industrializing, right? To industrialize, right?
Yeah,
Industrialize. So Ingolida, right? British people, they'll spell with an S. You know, we Americans do it with the Z. So industrialization, right? To where technology and everything has really come to the forefront, and it has increased over these last 50 years, right? So you
yeah,
can see where foot traffic or foot, right, going by foot has decreased because people have been getting wealthier, maybe,
yes,
and buying more vehicles, right? So in turn, you are completely right. And even way before 1959, people throughout the world were only living and working closer to home, right?
yes,
Now with a car, you're able to maybe drive to work, you can live where you want to live. So there's more options. I don't like to drive to work. I like to be really close to my work, right? Because I'm lazy, which headline, right? I'm very lazy. But yeah, so that's interesting. And then the other would just be right, foot, bus, train, car, other maybe Segway,
underground.
Pedway, but yeah, motor scooter or something like this, but that's good. All right, this is always right at your discretion. This will be whatever your teacher, whatever happens. On the IELTS, I don't think you have to do this because you're typing. I think even if you go right Beijing for your IELTS, it will be on the computer that you'll type your essay,
Yeah,
so they don't require that. But okay, excellent. Let's do it. So the two graphs show various transportation modes people use to get to work in an various transportation modes people use to get to work in an Asian city. Good. Yes. Again, this just I think it just makes you a better writer. I know it's hard sometimes, but ending in a
yeah.
preposition. So how could you include that to make it sound better into the sentence? You could always
Um,
put it front, which
yes.
generally sounds better, but try to put it in the middle.
In the middle, I would say the two graphs show various transportation modes uh, that an Asian city's people used to get to work.
Yeah, yeah, right. So or so, yeah. The two graphs, the two well graphs, yeah, graphs or pie charts, graphs, right? The two graphs show various um, Asian city show various transportation modes of an Asian. You could say that of an Asian city, right? That people use to get to work. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit better, right? Yeah, I didn't really hear what you said, but yeah, you at least you can put the preposition within it. It sounds better than after, right, at the end.
Yes.
So the Celeste, red, green, pale. Oh, Celeste. Is that what you think, Lisa? You think it's Celeste?
No, I don't think the Lusa is Celeste. I
The
think the
blue.
blue one is
Lovely.
Celeste.
Celeste, interesting. I haven't heard that in a while. I need to look that up now, Eric. Hold on a second. Celeste. I would say it's turquoise. Have you ever heard that word,
Yeah,
turquoise?
I've heard of turquoise.
Yeah.
It's the color between the two colors.
Yeah, so Celeste color. That's good,
Yeah,
Eric.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Wow, Eric. Wow, sky blue or Celeste. That's fabulous. You were spot on. Also
Was
turquoise, right? How do you yeah, there no turquoise. It's turquoise.
yeah, it's between blue and green.
Yeah. So it's pretty similar, those colors, but that was great. Celeste is good, Eric. Very good. And you did that. You know Celeste? You know
Yeah, I've heard of Celeste.
that's fabulous. Very good, Eric. Good. Okay, so the Celeste, red, green, pale blue, and violet. Yes, good. Pale blue and violet proportions respectively stand for foot, bus, train, car, and others. Excellent. This is you're setting up this essay wonderfully, because right, so now you telling the reader what the issue is, the problem is, and then how you're going to go about dissecting this, right? So this is a very academic essay, and again, IELTS wants to see how you'll be able to perform, right? If you go to a native English speaking school or even a European school does these nowadays. So, um, yeah, just for funny. So again, this is you're ending in a preposition. I like the sentence. I think it's good, but how could we include that in the sentence?
Yeah, just move the phrase to the front part of the sentence.
Yeah, or maybe hold on. The Celeste, I love this. So the Celeste, red, green, pale blue. That will get you more points because it's very it's great. That's what it was. Celeste, red, green, pale blue, and violet proportions. Um, all maybe all represent what bus, train, car, and other transportation.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be transportation. So the two graphs show various transportation modes of an Asian city that people use to get to work. The celeste, red, green, pale blue, and violet proportions represent foot, bus, train, car, and other. We've already used transportation, so what could be another word to show off your English skills?
Mm, yeah, commute.
Yeah, other commutes. Yeah, Eric, that's yeah, commutes to get to work. Fabulous, right? That is a pluralized. That is a countable word, right? So you can say commutes, right? Other commutes. Yes, because it's more than one person, right? So the two graphs show various transportation modes of an agency that people use to get to work. The celeste, red, green, pale blue, and violet proportions represent food, bus, train, car, and other commutes. Fabulous. You did it better than I would have probably have typed it. Excellent. Very good. I would, oh, and if you really want to master it, I think it's funny to do this. I think it's interesting, right? So when you're lining up or when you have more than one noun, uh, you can do it alphabetically,
Yeah.
right? So A, B, C, D, E, F,
Yeah.
G, right?
Yeah,
A,
so now
A,
I am just using the sequence
oh, Eric,
yeah.
wow. Eric, you're on top of your game today. You're on top of your game. All right, the first part, that's good. I didn't think about it, right? So you did it. Yeah, all
Yeah.
right, Eric, excellent, very good. And you may even, when you take your IELTS, I don't know how they do this, but they'll probably may review the essay with you, and then this is an opportunity for you to explain, right? Right? Explain your writing to
Yes.
them, right? So that's good. That's great that you did that. That's cool. All right. The first pie chart reveals 1959's situation, and the other one demonstrates how people commute in 2009. Okay, maybe you could do this sentence better, but these 2 were dynamite, and that's almost your lead in right there. That's phenomenal, like 10. I'd give you a perfect score on that. How do you think you could rephrase this to sound it a little bit better? To sound
Um,
it a little bit better.
yeah, so first put the in 2009 in,
Okay.
um,
In 1959, the pie chart reveals what? 1959. Reveals people's
yeah,
commute, while, uh, people's while in 2009, what?
mm, yeah, it also reveals people's commute.
While in 2009, it reveals the changes, right?
Yeah, the
The
changes
changes.
during the 50
It
years.
reveals the changes, the commuting, right? Commuting changes over 50 years. Over is still a preposition, but that works, I think, here. So 1959,
Yeah,
the first chart. Yeah, you can say pie chart is all right. Chart, yeah, reveals people's commute, right? And commute means work, so you don't have to be redundant and say work. The first pie chart reveals people's commute, while in 2009, you don't even need reveal again because that's redundant. The com
yeah,
the the commuting changes while the commuting changes. So yeah, we don't need that preposition. You just don't need it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's another statement. So that's all right. 3 of these. That's good. So now, all right. So now, what are you getting into here? These 2 graphs also offer us the 2 eras average distances. Eras. Yeah, possessive eras average distances and durations. The 2 eras average distances and durations. This is a little bit in English literature, it would be called like ambiguous or vague, ambiguous or vague, meaning, right, meow sure, Eric, right? Describe this more. What do you mean?
um, yeah, so below the chart, there are specific words that tell us the average commuting distances and average commuting durations.
Right. Okay, so really you're just setting this up as a blanket. You're just okay. All right, I see what you're doing. So then this one is you're stating what the issue is, what the problem or what the comparison is.
Yeah,
Okay. And then you're going to talk more about it in here or write more about it in here. All right. So the 2 graphs show various transportation modes of an Asian city that people use to get to work. Celeste, red, green, pale blue, and violet proportions represent foot, bus, train, car, and other commutes. Yes. And you did that. That's good. And you wrote that down. That's good. Good. In 1959, the first pie chart reveals people's commute, while in 2009, you can even say it changes, right?
yeah,
That, again, yeah, because we already know from, right, it changes. These two graphs also offer or illustrate, maybe
yeah,
illustrate.
illustrate better.
Okay. It's just more academic English, right? To say illustrate, exhibit, right? That's what they're looking for, right? So these 2 graphs also illustrate Not you don't need us. The two eras average distances and durations. Yeah, that's good, Eric. That's good. Okay. Um, and I always do the double. I don't know why I do double. During the 50 years, great changes have taken place. During the okay, what great changes, right? So I know you're going to talk about them here,
Yeah,
but so then how could you lead into? How can you further describe that and lead into the crunch, right? The meat of your essay. What?
okay.
How else
Yeah,
could you say this sentence?
I would say during the 50 years, how people transport to work have changed a lot.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say during the 50 years,
greatly
people's
changed.
yeah, people's methods and distances to work have changed, right?
Yes,
Okay, because so that's pretty much what has changed, right? Their distance. Oh, you could say time. Well, time is distance, right? So it's the same.
yeah,
So oh, this is possessive. Yeah, people's. Ooh, Cliff. During the 50 years, people's methods and distances to work have changed. Good. Yes. Okay, that's pretty good. Good. So this is different, right? So IELTS academic essays are different than what we do when you're writing about Malala or a school essay, right? So the structure for an academic essay would just be to explain the situation, right? Of
yes.
how you view this chart, right, Eric? And then so this is great, fabulous. I would give you 9, 10 on this. This is excellent. And then now this one, hold on. Work main features. You should write comparisons. Okay. And then this one will be the crux, right? We can do this
Yes.
any color. So we'll just make that green, I guess.
Okay.
And then the summary, right? The summary is exactly that in conclusion or in the summary. So that's a little bit of both. So let's just read this real quick. So in the first chart, 55% of workers walk to their workplaces. Good. However, needs a comma, right? Yeah, at the
Yeah,
end. So
I'm not sure where to add a comma.
yeah, generally when you have however, conversely, you did it here with clearly, remarkably, furthermore, excellent, Eric. All the great words for an academic essay. Perfect, right? So in the first chart, 55% of workers walk to their workplaces. However, in 2009, the percentage dropped rapidly. Well, did it drop if in 50 years, is that a rapid drop?
Um, yeah, so because it's 50 years, so it's not really rapid. That's what we have
Right.
seen, or say steadily drop. But just
Yes.
from the two graphs, that's a rapid drop in proportion.
Yeah, that's a good change. Good, right? Rapid is just like hen kwai, like within
Yeah,
1 year, right? It changes. 50 years, so you could say slowly dropped.
yeah, not
Or
rapidly.
yeah, steadily dropped. So in the first chart, good. You've used a comma here. Perfect. 55% will walk to their work. Excellent. Eric, very good. Perfect. Excellent essay. Very good. However, in 2009, the percentage dropped. You could say dropped. It's like Chinese. You can either switch the words. You could say steadily
Mm.
dropped or dropped
Oh,
steadily. It's fine. To 25%. Excellent. Very good. I do the double tap. I don't know why. The change is mainly due to the distances farther or further? Further, farther?
yeah, I think we can use both, but what our t English teacher told us is
Yeah,
that far, and then we can say it farther and further in two ways. The first way
yeah.
is Farther. It means just in distance, but the Further, it doesn't only mean distances, but also say like further education or further conclusion, further research. So
Yeah.
it's not like it doesn't show something in the distance, but show something that has deeper meanings.
Yeah, interesting. This could be it could be a commonwealth. It could be a difference between American English and British English, right? And I know your teacher is non-Feiren, right? So South Africa does more of a British
Yeah.
English. So let's just watch.
Yeah, and our Chinese English teacher, because we have two kinds of teacher. The first
Uh,
one is the foreign teachers, which only tell us some classes, but most of our English classes we use the Chinese teacher, Chinese English teachers. So they're
right.
Chinese, but they teach English,
Yeah.
and our
Yeah. No,
books
some of this,
were
yeah, some of the,
mainly
yeah. I think Chinese,
published
yeah. Chinese English
by,
teachers are
yeah,
better at
published
writing. Yeah.
houses in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah, yeah, very good. I think some of my Chinese English colleagues, right, that I work, they're great at grammar and writing, but really good. Yeah. All right, let's just watch this one. I want to see out of curiosity
Hi,
what the
from
grammar is.
Speak More Clearly. Let me ask you something. Are you unhappy with your accent?
British, very British.
Post a new lesson. Now, let's dive in with this video.
So now she's an American. I can tell by her accent, right? So we'll see what she says.
Today, let's talk about the difference between further and farther. Now, both of these are adverbs, and they're both used to talk about something that's to a greater distance or degree. So they can be used as the same meaning. So, what's the difference?
Tell
The
me.
easiest way to remember the difference between these two and which one you need in your sentence is to remember that farther is used for physical
Eric,
distance.
very good.
And
Excellent.
the
Yeah,
way
that's
you can
good.
remember that is farther
Mm.
has the word
I learned
far.
something. Learning far.
Far.
Yeah,
And
that makes
far
sense.
is
Good.
used for physical distance. So
Yeah.
that's a great way to remember this one.
你
Now,
我
if
老舍今
further
天
is used
Eric.
for physical distance, further is
Further.
used for metaphorical
Medical,
or
right? And so
figurative distance.
you know the difference between figurative and literal.
Yes, I know it.
Okay, what can you explain the difference between something being figurative or something being literal?
Um, yeah, so from figure, a figure is, yeah, I don't know other words to explain it, but I just know that the figurative is more of uh like not on the surface side, but in the bottom side, but the other one is just a very shallow meaning.
Yeah, the what I can think of, I just coached my son in English right before us, right? And so like to me, because I haven't been with him for 3 years, right? Because of the virus. He is he's gotten so big. So I'm like, well, Tyler, right? Well, 你很大的看, right? You're boy, you've gotten big, right? That
Yeah,
is a figurative, meaning he's not really big, he's only 10 years old. But to me, he's gotten big, right? Literal, to be literally, right? So the difference, right, between figurative versus literal, yin yang, right? Literal. So literally, he might not be that big, right? Because I'm
yeah,
bigger. I'm still bigger than him, right? You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, I know that.
yeah, so figurative, you could say, uh, oh, that apple is bright red, or it's as red as the sun, right? That's figurative because the sun is
Yes,
really red. Like, you can't really compare those two. Um, but if the apple was in the sun or so, like or something, then it's literally in the sun, right? It's
Yeah.
it's hard to express. But yeah, let's watch the rest of this. Yeah, but you're right. Your teachers are right. That's good. I learned this. So we'll
This
watch
is
the
best explained using an example, of course. So let's imagine that you're going on a road trip with your kids, okay? Now you're driving, you're driving, you're driving. A road trip is when you go from one destination to another destination
right. How
by
far?
car,
It's far.
and it's generally a long trip. So maybe 12 to 24 hours driving, or maybe even longer. So you're on this road trip with your kids. And of course, your kids are going to ask
Yeah.
you
How
how much
farther is
farther,
it? Right.
Yeah.
farther. So
Yes.
physical distance. You're
Yes.
at
Good.
point A,
I would
and they
say
want to
when I
know
was younger, I'd say how much longer, how much more time. I wouldn't say how much
how
distance, how
much
much farther.
Yes.
farther until you get to your final destination, point B. Physical distance. How much farther? How much farther do we have to go? How much farther do we have to drive? So you tell your kids that you still have 12 hours left. It's a long road trip. So you're driving, you're driving, you're driving. Now you get to this point where you can't drive any
Farther,
farther.
right.
You
Okay,
can't
good.
drive any
I
farther.
learned
So
today. I learned something new.
physical distance. So let's imagine you get to a construction site and the road is blocked off. You can't drive any farther. Now, you see there's a police officer and you want to get some information about what's going on. So you ask the
Further.
police officer
Yes.
why the road is closed. And he tells you that there's construction. He gives you a short answer, okay? So now you can ask him, do you have any further information?
More
Do you
information.
have any
Yeah.
further information?
Interesting. Okay.
Because you want information beyond what he gave you, greater than the degree that he gave you. So further,
This
because
is
we're
a
not
pretty good
talking about
video.
physical
She's good.
distance, this is metaphorical. Do you have any further information? Now, the police officer could give you a few more details, and then he could ask you, do you have any further questions?
Mm.
Same thing. It's like saying, do you have any more questions? Do you have any more information? Further. And it's not physical distance. So that's
Excellent.
the
Very good. That
easiest
was
trick to
good.
remember them.
All
Farther
right.
is with
All right, Eric. Fabulous. All right. Where was the essay here? Okay, good. So the first chart, 55% of workers walk to their workplace. Let me extend this one. Walk to their workplaces. However, in 2009, the percentage dropped steadily to 25%. Yes. The change is mainly due to the farther distances. Yes, excellent, Eric. Good. Between residences and workplaces. Furthermore, I do the double tap. I don't know it. Furthermore, with slight fluctuations, bus and train percentages maintain stable. Excellent, Eric. By far, this is your best essay. By far, excellent, wonderful. Remarkably, let me move this. Make it smaller, make it bigger. Okay, yeah. Remarkably, household cars rose dramatically from merely 10%, which is the second smallest share, to 30, becoming the largest proportion. That's good. I think maybe you could make that a little bit more clear. What do you think? How could you make that just a little bit clearer, more easily read?
Um, yeah, we can say remarkably, from uh, merely 10% in 1959 to over 35% in 2009, household cars rose dramatically.
Yeah, the word that's catching me up is remarkably, because I don't know, is it remarkably because of technology that has changed over the years?
Yeah, I think just as you said, it's
Yeah.
because of the civilization.
Right, and industrialization and civilization, right. So let's just get rid of remarkably, because that is literally what has happened, right? Literally and figuratively,
Yes.
literally what has happened. So you could just say with slight percent. Okay, yeah, you can just say household cars. Household cars rose dramatically from and merely, um, how do you God, my uncle was good with that. They want your opinion, but again, this is more of just a compare contrast. So when you're using like remarkably and merely, it's more you're an opinionated piece,
Yes.
right? Which is good on opinionated papers, right? When you have to give your opinionation or your opinion on, right? But not for this one, maybe. So I would say household cars rose, and again dramatically. Household cars rose from 10%, which is the second smallest share. You don't need a comma here, to
Oh,
35%. You don't need a comma here, becoming the largest proportion. I think that's better because
yeah.
you're what they're trying. I think what IELTS is trying to do. They just want to know how you're able to read an English chart and
Yeah.
decipher it, right? Because you'll be doing a lot of this if you go to, in everything in science, right? Even math class, they'll have you do compare, contrast, pardon me, essays, right? Okay. Clearly, driving has become the mainstream way. That's good because, yeah, that's good because that's obvious, that's clear, right? So it's clearly driving has become the mainstream way. Good. The reason for this trend
Yeah.
is it contains better convenience and you can say more flexibility, right? More
Yes.
flexibility. Okay. Instead of being bound by public transportation. Excellent, Eric. Good. That's a collocation, right? Do you know what a collocation is?
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah, collocation. I think I spell this right. Collocation. Um, so collocation are two words in any language, right? That work together to form an idea. I can't think of one saying, but like, well, like this is a 红色苹果, right? Like a red apple. It's kind of like a connotation because generally apples are red.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a good, and you get points on IELTS for using good collocation. So that's wonderful. That's great. So instead of being bound by public transportation, commuters can arrange their own, right?
Yeah.
Possessive, their own routes, right? Because they have their own cars. Good. The charts obviously reflect I wouldn't say obviously again. I mean, it is obvious, but again, that's kind of I forgot the literary word. It's just your opinion, right? Well, it's not
Yes.
opinion, but your yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
just
don't
yeah.
need ourselves opinions.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the exact literary term, but the charts reflect a 7% increase commute in other commuting. You've used way up here. So
Yeah.
what's a synonym for way? For way.
Um, yeah, let me think. I have just thought about the word, but yeah, forget it. It's called um,
You could say modes. You could say
um
fashion.
yeah,
Okay.
they are some words, but what I am thinking is yeah, I just forget it.
That's all right. The charts reflect a 7% increase in other commuting modes, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's not the best word, but again, for IELTS, they want to see how many English words you know and how well you use them, right? In
Yes.
speaking and writing and everything. So, okay, we can predict that people will be apt to cleaner and faster ways. Okay, this is like futuristic, right? To have an energy efficient car like a Tesla, right, or
Yes.
something. So yeah, that's good. I would save this. I would save this for what? Let me maybe cut this out. Copy
Okay.
and cut. I'd save this for maybe your summary, right, Eric?
Yeah.
But Eric,
Okay.
right, yeah, as of right now, I would definitely give you a 9. I mean, that was fat. This has been your best IELTS essay by far. Excellent. So now this one should be
The
right.
conclusion
Yeah, it should
paragraph.
be kind of like a middle, right, between red and green, right? So this
Yeah.
should, yeah, the summary should like tie in everything together. So in summary, during the 5 decades, well, we can't really read it when it's all these colors. So hold on.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So in summary, during the 5 decades, the way in summary, during the 5 decades,
Yeah.
that the way people commute has changed tremendously. Good. All right, let me read that again. In summary, during the 5 decades that the way, or oh, you don't need that, I guess. During the
Mm.
5 decades, the way people commute has changed tremendously. Good. This is where you use these words, right? Because
Yes.
you've explained everything, then now you're giving your estimation or your qualification, right, of what
Yes.
has happened, right? Yeah. Okay, so generally, cars occupy the biggest proportion. What's wrong with this? Oh, comma. Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. It's all right. Generally, cars occupy the biggest proportion, and more citizens tend to choose flexible. See, now some like they say put a comma there.
Yeah, I know, and our teachers told us to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So that's really minute, right? Small problem, it's like not even a
Yeah.
problem. It's so generally cars occupy the biggest proportion and more citizens tend to choose flexible, fast, and environmentally friendly ways. Good. Predetermining the future, solar energy vehicles. Good, Eric. That's wonderful because we all want cleaner energy. So I'm sure the IELTS examiner will like that. That you're thinking about, alternative energy. Good. Predetermining the future, solar energy vehicles, electric cars. Good and hot. Oh, electric, right? So this is redundant. You could just kill
Yeah.
two birds with one stone, right? So electric and hybrid cars may be favored. Excellent. You're taking the IELTS. So how should he spell favored?
Add a U. The
Yes,
reason I
right?
didn't add a U is because it restricted me from doing this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe the Chinese word program because, Word is from Bill Gates, Microsoft. He's
Yes.
American. So maybe, yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, yeah, that's all right. So additionally, the way people commute will no longer restrict. You use people twice, you don't need to use it again, right?
Yeah.
So additionally, the way people commute will no longer restrict where they live, right? They live. And now you could include that, right? You could say, I would say hopefully, you can even say hopefully, right? Hopefully, we people, right? Or we humans, right? We humans will be apt or will increase, right?
Yeah.
Increase our cleaner and faster transportations or transport, right? That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. And make that black. Eric, man, I would without any of those changes, if I had just read it, I would have given you at least an 8, maybe even a full score of a 9. I would have at least given you, 7, 8, 7.58 without any of these changes. Even these changes, I think that was fabulous. That was probably one of your best essays. So let me send that back to you. And then, what do you feel like doing for your next session if you have time?
Mm. Yeah, I think this one is okay, but like yeah, I will use comparing this one to what we have done recently, like the second kind. I prefer the second kind, which is not like the chart or the pie graphs.
Oh, no, I mean, well, I also want to help you maybe if you do decide to go to a native English college or university. I also want to help you in your Well, it's still academic writing, but in other forms of academic writing, right? So the IELTS is a different way of thinking, a different way of writing in English. Um, if you want to do another IELTS, that's fine. It's up to you. Or we could do another one-page essay on something. If you're still reading Malala, or I could assign you like a really quick, short, famous reading, and then you could write on that. It's up to you, man. What would you like to do?
Yeah, as you said, the short, quick reading, I think that would be interesting.
Okay, very cool. All right, good. So let's do we'll do like, well, American core, I don't know. Let's do famous short essays. Famous short essay writers. PDFs. Best of student, no, all-time life best essays of all time. Not essays, short stories. Ah, short stories PDFs. Yes, okay. Okay, short stories by, oh, Henry. Gift of the Magi is good, Eric. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, these are really good. Does any, like all of them, these are great. Um, okay, let me just download this. I'm just gonna send it to you. Okay, and then I'm probably just gonna give you a standard, all right, there you have that now.
Okay.
And we'll just do a one-page, let's just do another a good one-page essay. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. So this is a good one, The Gift of the Magi. Um, do any of these titles, like when you're reading these, do any of these catch your eye, or any of these interesting?
Um, yeah, the last leaf, I think that's probably interesting.
The Last Leaf. Okay. Let me see what are some good last leaf one-page essay questions.
Yeah, because it's attractive.
Okay. Okay, interesting. There we go. Try not to copy from this, right? So try, all right, Eric, try
Yeah, I
not to.
think I wouldn't be able to get into the website.
All right, well, good. So let's just, yeah, let's do this one. I like this one. This one's good. All right, okay. So let's see how long. I don't think it's very long, Eric. And plus, you have 2 days, so I think you could.
Yeah, we have 2 days.
Okay, I think you could read this maybe tonight, right? Let me look at it. Hold on. Say not eat Nivea. So the last leaf. Yeah, I don't think it's that long, man. So that's good. All right, cool. So then this will be your this is for my son. Let me do. Okay, excellent. So let's do okay. Yes, Mr. Cole. After reading the short story, what was it called? The last leaf.
Yeah, the last
The
leaf.
last leaf. Please draft or write a one page, right? Just a one page essay in regards to this following question. Okay, let me make that bigger. Make this not black. And what's the standard English font, Eric?
Yeah, Times New Roman.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. And it's generally 12. But
Yes.
I'm gonna make this a little, I'm gonna make it 12. Just keep it 12. And that, of course, is essay. They don't like in regards to anymore. I don't know. I always like that. So, Mr. Kong, after reading the short story, The Last Leaf, and then you can always italicize that.
Yeah.
Last read, please draft or write. I put commas in there. A one-page essay regarding, yeah, in regard. I like in regards. I don't know where that has gone. Regarding the following question. Okay, what is the significance of willpower in the last leaf? So we'll make that blackened.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So one page, right? So again, just fit it in here, right? Or it can maybe run a little bit over, right? So that's what
Yeah.
one page means. Just make it Times New Roman 12 font. You can do it, you can do a spacing. You can do like space in between if you want, right? If you don't
Yeah,
do
I'm
space,
not sure which kind of space to use,
okay.
whether it's 1 or 1.5.
Yeah, I had a lot of teachers at university that just left this up to you because they would say, "Well, it's one page, so if you feel like writing more, then you don't do the space. If you want to do a space, right?" They know when you're lazy, right?
Yeah.
College teachers, you're definitely not lazy. You're a great student. All right, so let me send this to you, Eric, and we'll just call it the last leaf essay. All right, man. Well, have fun with your parents. Relax. You deserved
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Yeah, you studied hard. Let me send this on to you. Last leaf. Yes. Okay. All right, brother. All right, excellent. I gotta try to get my
Yeah.
bag at the airport and then I'm going
Yeah, we should
to
get it back.
all right. All right, Sai Jet, Eric. Bye-bye, man.
Yeah,
All right,
goodbye.
have a good day. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, brother. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.